This is the Google Pixel 7a, which has a 6.1-inch OLED HDR flat edge-to-edge display. The front is made of Corning Gorilla Glass 3, the sides are made of aluminum, and the back is made of plastic. And I have to say, it does hide fingerprints really well. The Google Pixel 7a comes in 4 different colors, starting with this sea color, which is a pale light blue. It also comes in charcoal, snow, and coral, which is a Google Store exclusive. On the right hand side of the device, you have the on-off power button and the volume rocker. And if you look ever so closely, you will see that the button configuration on the Pixel 7a on the right is lower than on the Pixel 6a on the left. And I suspect the reason for this is that there were complaints that the button configuration on the Pixel 6a on the left were too high. And also, just to show that I'm fair in my analysis, you will see that I have both devices at around the same level. On the left you have the SIM tray, which can take one nano SIM, and you can also use an eSIM. On the top you have a microphone and the antenna lines. At the bottom you have the USB Type-C charging port and the speaker grill. You also have sound coming from the top, so in effect you have stereo speakers on this device. The device comes with 128 gigabytes of internal storage, of which 15 gigabytes is the system storage, and that can be broken down in terms of 13 gigabytes of the system storage plus 1.9 gigabytes which are made up of apps. And as you can see, no photos or videos have been saved on the device. So in effect, when you deduct the system storage from the internal storage, you are left with 113 gigabytes to play with, and there is no expandable storage. It would have been nice if the Google Pixel 7a came with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, because if you're someone like myself that takes a lot of photos and especially videos as a content creator, you fill this thing up very quickly. Of course, that bumps up the price, but I suspect Google will not do this, as we're to blur the lines even further with the Google Pixel 7 when it comes to pricing. Unlike the Google Pixel 6a, the Google Pixel 7a now supports wireless charging. Although do beware, it is capped at 7.5 watts and will take an eternity to fully charge. Do note this device comes with an IP67 dust and water rating, meaning you can have this in water for 1 meter for 30 minutes. In terms of biometrics, you can use a pin or the under display optical fingerprint sensor, which has worked really well. You also now have the option of face unlock with the Pixel 7a, which again works really well with no issues to report. Also, when using the face unlock feature, the Pixel 7a is able to detect if you are wearing glasses. So in that case, you will need to remove them for it to work. However, there are times when the face unlock feature does not work. For example, if you're in low ambient light, the device will tell you, and in that case, you just use your fingerprint or your PIN. Remember, face unlock is about convenience rather than added security. The device comes with Android 13 pre-installed. The Pixel 7a weighs 193.5 grams to be exact, which is 15.5 grams heavier than the Pixel 6a, and I suspect it's because of the coil needed for wireless charging on the Pixel 7a. On the issue of overheating, I did experience this at the outset when I purchased the device. The overheating on the back of the device was mild and temporary. Even with heavy usage and filming, there have been no overheating issues, in the 6 weeks I have tested the device. What I will say from using the Pixel 6 Pro and 6a on a regular basis is that the cameras are fantastic, but annoying at the same time, because without warning, they will refuse to work and you will get a message on your screen telling you so. Meaning you could lose that photo or video that you wanted to capture, which could be priceless. If you're coming from another Android device onto the Google Pixel 7a, one thing you would definitely notice, and that is the button configuration. Because on most Android devices, the on-off power button is at the bottom, whilst the volume rocker is at the top. But take, for example, the Google Pixel 7a, you will see it's the reverse, where the volume rocker is at the bottom and the on-off power button is at the top. And as a result of this, I always press the wrong buttons because I flip between the Android device and the Google Pixel devices. Google, if you're watching this video, please follow convention by reversing the button configuration on your devices. On the front, you have a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera, which has a 95 degrees field of view, and you can shoot video up to a maximum of 4K at 30 frames per second. Just like the front facing camera, which has had a camera upgrade, the rear facing cameras have also been upgraded. So you have a 64 megapixel wide camera with an 80 degrees field of view, and you also have super resolution zoom up to 8 times zoom. In addition, you had a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera with 120 degrees field of view, and you can shoot video up to a maximum of 4K at 60 frames per second. When it comes to updates, you will get 3 years of software updates and 5 years of security patch updates, and that is from new. So if you purchase the Pixel 7a a year after release, you will get 2 years of software updates and 4 years of security patch updates. When it comes to using this outdoors, rather than tell you, I thought I'd come out and I'd show it to you, what it's like to use when the sun is out. And I can say, I can see the screen really clearly, especially with the sun on it. However, to be able to do this, what I've had to do is go into the brightness level and turn it to maximum. By comparison, this is what the display looks like when I have the brightness level midway, and I've also turned off the adaptive brightness feature within the settings menu. Now, I don't know about you, but I am struggling to see the display. With the Google Pixel 7a, you now have the option of increasing it to 90 Hz. But do beware, you will need to change this within the settings menu on the device. Battery consumption on any device is a subjective matter. So what I did is put the Pixel 7a to the test by going out on 3 separate dates. And on each day, I'd make sure that the device was at 100% before I left my house, and I did not take the charger or use any other external chargers throughout the day. Because I knew I was testing out the device, I made sure it got some medium to heavy use. What do I mean by medium to heavy use? Well, for a start, I made sure that every opportunity I was listening to the radio. If not, I was watching endless amounts of YouTube videos, and I'll take the opportunity to do some light filming. The only thing I did not do was gaming, as I am not a gamer. Believe me, I really put the device through its paces in terms of battery consumption. And if I recall, I think I was having about 30% battery life at the end of each day. And again, just to repeat, no charging was involved. If you're enjoying this video, a subscribe to the channel below would be stupendous, and it is free to do, as my analytics has shown less than 3% of you are subscribed to the channel. And also by hitting that notification bell, you will not miss out on any upcoming videos. Just so you know, the photos and videos you're about to see have not been altered pre or post-production, as that requires more work. has got it to about an arm's length away from me, and I've also got the volume at maximum, and I'm not using the speech enhancement feature on this device, and I have to admit it is a really good feature, especially when you are in a noisy environment. There are a lot of features available on the Google Pixel 7a, and I do cover a lot of them in bite-sized videos on my channel. Hats off to Google for getting the brightness level on their always-on display on point with not only the Google Pixel 7a, but across all their Google devices. And what it means is that you can see the always-on display in low ambient light and in complete darkness. And again, if you're someone with not the greatest of eyesight, you can still see this from a very short distance. My review of the Pixel 7a would not be complete if I did not inform you about the core quality of the device. And I can honestly say, in the last 5 to 6 weeks, since I've been testing the device, I've had no issues to report. And that's when making or receiving phone calls. And I've used it places where there are crowds, for example, at a train station where there are people around, and I can hear people quite well. And I've got to be honest, 99% of the time, I will wear wireless earbuds. When pairing and using wireless earbuds with the Google Pixel 7a, there is no lag whatsoever when watching content such as YouTube. One of the cool features with the Pixel 7a is the ability to silence your alarm just by the sound of your voice. That is correct. Just by saying stop, you can silence your alarm. You also have the ability to hide the front-facing camera on the Pixel 7a, which you're currently watching this on now, without the punch hole camera getting in the way. Whilst this may eat into the screen-to-body ratio on your device, however, it does serve its purpose. With Now Playing, the device will show the name of the song and the artist on the lock screen. And this will work without a SIM or a Wi-Fi connection. You also have the Magic Eraser, which allows you to remove people or objects, meaning you can take that perfect photo. And the best part for me is that you can now say goodbye to those photo bombers. Whilst you can customize things like the time widget, like so, however, you cannot customize the Google search bar at the bottom or the time and date widget at the top left. Now, if you want to be able to customize your device, you may want to look at alternatives such as using Nova Launcher. I do like the haptic feedback on the device, which makes it a pleasure to use.